I am Sophie Ellis Bextor, and I am talking to you today about my new record, Familia, which is my 6th album. Definitely a sibling to Wanderlust, but this one's a bit more extrovert, a bit more bolshy. So if Wanderlust was sort of a cold landscape, in Familia we've taken those characters and moved them somewhere hot and somewhere in Latin America. I'm actually coming up for my 20th anniversary of being a singer, which is quite scary. So I'm 37 now, and I started when I was 18. And it's been 16 years since Groovejet came out in 2000. So when I was 16, I was in a band called The Audience, which was signed to Mercury, and we were incredibly hyped at the time. And then the band split up. We were a sort of indie band, sort of left field guitar music. And then after that band split up, I did Groovejet, which was this very housey, very dance record. So complete poles apart.
There's no need to be lonely, lonely, lonely. I know where you belong, yeah, follow me. You only have to find me, find me, find me. No matter who you are or what you see.
I think when it comes to the record stuff, basically whenever I get to the bit where I'm choosing the album title or deciding what I'm going to wear on stage or how the video should look like, for me that's like just a really fun aspect of what I do, and I really exploit that because I love it. So when I was in the studio in February, I'm sat there kind of Googling things and looking on eBay and looking all around and just trying to let my mind be filled with like little ideas of what I want to do. And in much the same way, when we're writing the album, so Ed and I, we do the sort of the basic outline of the song, but we leave quite a lot of it undone because the musicians I work with, I want them to feed in their ideas. And it's a similar thing with the aesthetic side, really, because people I've worked with for a long time, and I love the ideas they come up with. So I'll give them a bit of a framework, and then they'll reflect back what they heard from me and what they think I might mean by that, and then it'll come infused with their ideas too. And so people like Sophie Muller and Lisa, who does the makeup, and Tamara, who does the styling, I love hearing what they've got and how they're going to, everything kind of becomes the fruit of everybody's work, really. So I just feel very spoiled because all their ideas are in there too, and I love that. I feel like we all have a little share in everything we create, and that's a really nice way to work, and they're friends too, so that's nice. I'd never seen the programme before I did it, so I walked into the room thinking it was going to be like some people that are really awful and some people that are all right. I didn't realise that actually most people were pretty good. And even the people that aren't wonderful, there can be a real charm in watching those people discover they can do something they didn't think. So, I don't know, I think everybody's got a fair crack of the whip when it starts, you know.
We're coming your way. We're gonna call it. Come with us. If you give us all your money, we'll give you your dreams. It's all so focused. You'll never want to turn.
When I'm away working, I often get asked, oh, who's got your kids today, and what's happening with all that. And my husband is also a musician, but I'm pretty sure when he turns up to do interviews, they don't say, who's got the kids today, and you know, how does your childcare work? And in fact, I know he doesn't because I've asked him, so that kind of thing. But you know, a lot of it's talking about things like people would talk about how the weather is or something. You know, a lot of it's just sort of making small talk, really, and I try not to take it to heart or be offended by it, because I don't think anyone means anything by it, really. When I was 7, my mum and I were living in a little flat together, and this is before she met my stepdad, and she went and got a tattoo. So I think it sort of sowed the seed in my head of like, oh, when you're a grown-up, you're going to get a tattoo. And then it was quite funny because I was waiting for a long time to know what to get, and then just before Richard and I got married, we went over to Paris and I got this done, and then that evening after I got it done, we went into a club and I got quite tipsy, and I was saying like, oh my God, I can't believe I've done something like, I mean, it's such a sort of, it doesn't really take too much armchair psychology to work out why I'm getting married and I've got a baby and I've had like family, like it's almost like to my mum and dad, like, see, I've got it back. Like, okay, but then again, my family are super important. I'm close to my mum, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, my step-parents, they're all in there. And even my dad can't get cross because it's like, you're in there, Dad.